always been the case with Sean. He's got great stuff.
And on the ground, softly hit. Sean Newcomb wins the first inning. 3 up, 3 down. Good start for him. Here come the Braves against Rick Porcello.
Hey guys, we are just getting this thing rocking tonight. Prepare yourselves for the hardest hitting play-by-play reaction show allowed by law. Alright, I'm getting the scoreboard and stuff ready. We'll get things rocking here in a second. We're in a commercial break right now. Hang on. Go get a beer. Stand by for Atlanta Braves, New York Mets play-by-play reaction. Coming up in moments. Rah. If you're looking for the entertainer, you got the wrong channel, son. We're going to open up the Zoom action, too. All right.
On the season, different look to his Toyota starting lineup tonight without Ozzie Albies hitting second. But what a luxury, as hot as Dansby Swanson is, you slot him in between Freddie Freeman. That top three looks to be pretty stout for the Bravos tonight as they lock horns with former Cy Young winner Rick Porcello.
All right, we don't. Thank you, Chip. All right, welcome aboard. I'll get that scoreboard fixed in a minute. Braves going to be batting now. I think I need a different channel to watch this on. This is not good. Now, these guys usually pretty good, but not tonight, huh? All right, Acuna leading off. One strike. 0-1 Acuna to start this half inning for the Braves. Batting a .143. Rocks and fires. Swing and a foul. Counts 1-2 to Acuna. The pitch. Another foul. That scoreboard will have to do for now. And down goes Acuna. One away. Not using my normal channel tonight. I'm in YouTube prison until August 22nd. I think that's Dansby. Man, this is blurry. Streaming at 156 kbps. No wonder. Filed away. 0-2. A 2 pitch upstairs. I try to change resolution on this game. That's redonk. Freeman on deck. Alright, that's a lot better. And contact from Swanson. Rosario's gonna gobble that up and throw him out. 2 out for the Braves in the bottom of the first. Yeah, I don't know what the problem is here. So we're gonna go somewhere else for the game. All right, Freeman's coming up to bat with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Batting .261, 1 home run, and 4 RBIs. Outside, 1-0. Freeman's going to take that one, 2-0. Pulls that one foul. 2-1 to Freeman. Freeman gets that into right field for a single. One on, 2 outs. See who's batting cleanup tonight. I can't wait to get my channel back. Zuna. Batting .364. The 1-0 pitch to Zuna. Caught the inside corner, 1-1. And the 1-1. Opposite field single. All right, there's a Sinai single, but 2 on for the Braves. 2 outs. And just imagine if Acuna gets things, when he gets things back on track. The first 4 in the lineup, man, that's pretty fierce. First and second, bottom of the first, 2 outs. Going to be Matt Adams taking the first pitch for a ball in the 5-hole tonight. One 0 is going to be hit the other way. Another Sinai single. Freeman rounds third, and he's going to head home. Adams with the RBI. Went just a little bit against the shift, and worked out for him. So the Braves strike first. You don't usually see the batter wearing a mask, but this guy's got one on. Runners on the corners, 0-2 pitch. Chop foul. Come on. Another base hit for the Braves. Azuna comes home. 0-2 pitch. Francio? Who is that? Porcello. That's going to bring up Austin Riley. Downstairs, 1-0. J.D. Davis will lead off the second for the Mets. 2-0 pitch coming up to Austin Riley. Swing and a miss on the outside heater there. More of a slider. Excuse me, Porcello is the pitcher for the Mets. Austin's going to pull that to the shortstop, who throws him out at first. Ends the first, but the Braves strike first and have a 2-0 lead. And as I switch networks, do a little time jump here and join this second inning, now kicking off, as Davis is batting for the Mets now. Strikeout for Newcomb. Oh, 0-1 to Conforto.
Flamethrower is, of course, it's tonight's Brave starter, Sean Newcomb.
Of course. See, last season, 25 games.
We're going to join some of the action with Tom Glavine and Chip Carey now, courtesy of Fox Sports South.
Cespedes, back from multiple heel surgeries and a fractured ankle. He pulled a string on him for a quick strike.
Yeah, and I like it. You know, like I said, these guys are aggressive early in the count, so don't just go up there and go fastball for strike one every time. Mix things up, and he's done a nice job of mixing that curveball in there to get into the count.
But boy, is he working at warp speed, too. Now the 0-2 pitch. And fouled away.
Well, maybe he watched Max do that last night. Max was a man on a mission last night. He was pretty much give me the ball and let's go. He was ready to go after every pitch.
And boy, was he outstanding.
Yeah.
That's rolled foul. Max Fried last night retired the first 14 hitters in a row, struck out 7 men, 85 pitches, covering 6 2/3 innings to earn his first win of the year.
Tried to elevate that fastball again there on Cespedes, but got a little too quick with the front side. Try to overthrow it a little bit. See if he comes back with it. Go back with the changeup.
And it's rifled to left. Ozuna retreats, has plenty of room, and Newcomb wins inning number 2. 6 up, 6 down. He leads 2-0. tonight's Bojangles Big Bowl moments. And Tommy, every good team has some unsung heroes. I think a Danny Echeverria would qualify for the 2019 Braves.
Yeah, he was, I mean, you talk about a guy changing sceneries and hoping something changes. Man, oh man, did it change for a Danny when he got over here. You see his numbers in 26 games. I mean, he was hitting unbelievable and doing his customary tremendous defense. So what a nice pickup he was.
60 games with the Mets, who released him in mid-August. Then Kevin Seitzer and Jose Castro got their hands on him, and all he did was hit .328 in 24 games.
Yeah. So the Mets are going to be going, what the heck? But yeah, I mean, he just came over here and offensively was a different player.
Porcello back to work and ripped out a play foul. And when Adeiny came here, Tom, it really came at a critical time in the season. The Nationals were starting to roll. They were closing the gap, and the Braves were really missing Dansby Swanson, who was out with that foot problem.
Yeah, they were kind of searching what they wanted to do at that position with Dansby out. And, you know, a guy like that becomes available man. Hey, just go play defense. And whatever you give us offensively is great. And what he did offensively was great, as he takes called strike 3 there.
So Porcello's second started the way his first did, with a strikeout. And again, we're seeing the high strike call a lot. Hitters beware. Be ready for that. Personally, I like it. I've said that a couple of times. Here's Ender. 118 average, 3 RBIs. This guy knows how to pitch. Rick Porcello's been around a long time. You just have to wonder how much is in the tank. Last year, a 14-12 record, Tom, a 5.5 ERA, but again, American League DH in play for him.
Yeah, but I guess, you know, the thing there, I mean, he had the 22 win season a couple years before with Boston, won the Cy Young Award, and you know, that notwithstanding, I mean, it seems to me he's lost a little off his fastball, and that seems to be the problem more than anything. He's just, you know, he doesn't have that stuff anymore to kind of get away with mistakes in the middle of the zone. So he's really got to rely on his off-speed pitch, and his off-speed command has been spotted.
American League DH in play for him. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Guess, you know,
for center fielder Ender Inciarte, the 9th place hitter on the lineup card tonight. Pitch. He is lifted out of play. I would imagine that's very difficult for a pitcher that had his stuff earlier in his career to have to change on the fly, especially in this launch angle, high velocity era of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, listen, it's never easy to have to reinvent yourself. You know, we all have to do it at some point in time, but I would imagine the hardest thing to do is go from being a power guy to being a finesse guy.
And finessed over the outside corner, back-to-back strikeouts. And we will head to the top of the order. Porcello now has set down the last 3 in order.
Which, there again, it pains me to say guy's a finesse guy throwing 92, but when you were throwing 95, 96, you know, and you see there, I mean, that's his fastball command's pretty good. It's just that secondary stuff that kind of comes and goes that makes it difficult for him.
First pitch, line drive for Acuna. And that's a sure way not to get to 2 strikes. It's easy to try to stretch this into a double. The ball gets away from Cano, and Acuna slides in safely. Thought about moving to third, and now scrambles back to second without his helmet. He never stopped running out of the box on that play, and a hustle double for Acuna, forcing the action, and another 2-out hit.
Yep, slider off the plate, but up a little bit. And like you said, Ronald was sniffing a double the whole way.
So second double for Acuna. And now again, Dansby Swanson. Braves have scored first in 7 straight games to start the year. Same is true tonight. Making it 8. Fouled away. Atlanta try to win 3rd game in a row. After sweeping Tampa Bay in the home portion of our home and home with the pesky and really talented Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, it was a good ball club. That was a fun 4-game series. You know, it's hard sometimes because you don't know that team. You don't see them. I mean, it's hard for us. It's hard for the Braves because there's no familiarity. But after watching them for 4 nights, that's a good ball club. They're fun to watch.
It's always fun to watch Dansby. There's a chance to add to a 2-0 lead here with 2 outs. And that got a piece of Ramos behind the plate. That'll put a damper on your weekend. Ramos took some punishment off the bat of Dansby Swanson. He'll try to walk that off.
Well, Dansby's got him right where we want him. 2 strikes.
Whenever that happens, and yes, it hit him in a real bad spot, you always see the trainer or the assistant trainer come out, and they're the one that's smiling.
Of course they are. They know it hurts. They know there's nothing they can do for you, nor are they going to do anything for you. And you just kind of have to sit there and wait a little while till the feeling goes away.
And Freddie's giving Ramos a little grief in the on-deck circle, too. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Five hits already for the Braves. We're in the 2nd. And the pitch is cut on a miss. That had some nasty movement. And Porcello's out of the 2nd. But Atlanta leads 2-0 as we've completed 2 at Truist.
Have a 2-0 lead in the 3rd over the Mets. This is the best office view in America. Check it out. Me and my buddy Ronald Acuna. That's it. Look at us. Well, Nick Markakis, he is coming back. He's excited. The team's excited. He is down in Florida working on that swing. Alex Anthopoulos would go down there and watch him today and watch those at-bats. And guys, with the other young players down there, I can't think of a better person down there showing you how to foul balls off and get quality at-bats than Nick.
Great point, Paul. The mentorship and the leadership of Nick Markakis as big as his great work on the field, and I think everybody obviously thrilled that he's opted back in. Now the time has yet to be determined as to when he's back in a big league uniform, but He's on his way, and that's going to be a great weapon for the Braves to have as Robbie Cano leads off, batting seventh with a lefty on the mound. Remember, such big controversy or conversation in New York opening day. Would Cano still hit third for the Mets? That's been answered so far.
Yeah, like we talked about, I mean, you'd be awful hard pressed to convince me to take Alonso out of the third spot. As good a career as Cano has had, got to get Alonso as many at bats as you can.
1 ball, 1 strike, and Cano adds to his third most active hits total in the major leagues with a ringing single, the first of the night. Hit number 2577 for Robbie Cano.
Yeah, a little bit of a, not really a hanging breaking ball, maybe a little bit of a lazy breaking ball. That one didn't quite have the finish on it Sean wanted. And Cano did what he's been doing for a lot of years.
Among active players, Albert Pujols has the most hits. Miguel Cabrera second, Cano third, Nick Markakis is fourth with 2,355. So there are your top 4 graybeards and hits leaders. And here's Ramos. Get the ball on the ground, you got a great chance for 2. With Wilson up there, strike 1 from Newcomb.
Continuing to use that curveball for strike 1 to get into the count with these guys.
Ramos had a good first year with the Mets last year. 288 average, 14 homers. Played 141 games.
Yeah, he's a good player, steady player, does a great job back there handling the pitching staff.
Quickly down 2 strikes, short lead at first for Robbie Cano.
Seen that a couple times now where Sean's tried to go upper portion of the strike zone and missed badly. And that's just front side. His front side gets a little bit quick because he's trying to overthrow it a little bit, make sure he gets it up there. So they're trying to soften that front side a little bit and trust yourself to get it above the zone.
Swing and a miss. Ramos is victim number 3 for Newcomb. 1 on, 1 out.
I think that was a changeup. The ball had a lot of movement on it. A little bit of a hanger, but out of the zone.
And here's Andres Jimenez, the 5th ranked prospect for the Mets, according to Baseball America. He was the number 2 prospect 5 years ago out of the international signing class.
Got a lot of talent. Some surprise that the Mets opted to take him in this short season and give up a year of control, but they said, hey, if we think he can help us win, he's going to be on the team.
He's 21 years old. He'll be 22 in early September. He's a spindly young man, 6 feet tall, 160 pounds. But they love his glove, and they envision him being a guy that in extra innings would be a real speedy runner at second base. He's getting a chance to play tonight because Jeff McNeil has the night off for New York.
Which, even with the lefty on the mound, is perfectly fine with us.
Yes. We'll see enough of him over the next 3 days, or maybe later tonight. 2 balls and a strike. And on the ground toward third. Easy peg to second and to first, and not in time. There's that speed. Riley tried to start the double play, but Echeverria gets the forced second. And back to the top we go with 2 outs.
Another good breaking ball, lazy ground ball, but good job on the turn, but just too fast down the line.
Here's Rosario. He popped out to Freddie Freeman on a 2-0 pitch his first time up, and is 0 for his last 9 at the plate.
Sean's done a nice job of getting into the count with guys with his breaking ball. Rosario, all fastballs his first at bat. See if they're change anything up here.
Now the only blemish for the Braves pitchers of late, Cano was the first leadoff hitter in an inning to get on in a while.
That's right. Yeah, I jinxed him. I mentioned it. Sorry.
So we'll see how he fares the second time through the order here. Jimenez with his lead at first, and Rosario ready. Not going, in the pitch is up and away, ball 1. Big year for the Mets in 2020. They try to make postseason play. A good club with the expanded playoffs. They've got a shot, but they got to get healthy. They're going to be without Syndergaard for the whole year. We got some good news today that Marcus Stroman is throwing to live hitters, or already has thrown to live hitters today. And they need Marcus Stroman back in rotation.
Yeah, that'll be a big boost for them. Yeah, look, they, with the expanded playoffs, you got to figure the Mets are going to be in the mix.
Again to third, Riley to second again, and that will retire the side. Newcomb with 3 scoreless innings. Freddie Freeman leads off 2-0 Atlanta. Braves look to add to a 2-0 lead. Freddie Freeman got a 2-out rally started in the first inning with a base hit. Let's see what he can do against Rick Porcello for the second time. I think, Tommy, that 0 for 4 with 4 strikeout game just made him mad.
I agree. I mean, you know that. You know when Freddie gets mad, somebody's going to pay, and that's been the case. And, getting home and getting comfortable, getting in a routine. I mean, the whole 9 yards. I mean, listen, we hear a little bit about what life on the road is like for these guys right now. It is not normal.
No.
And it's a big change in routine and comfort level, let alone the concerns of going on the road from a health standpoint. But now, not being able to go out in the city and eat something to eat and do all that stuff. I mean, it's a big adjustment. So I can imagine these guys look forward to being home.
And will be for the next week, with 3 more with the Mets and then 3 with Toronto coming up. So yeah, we asked when the Braves came home from Tampa Bay, hey, home cooking. Well, they took advantage. They've won the first 2 and are winning tonight. And Freddie didn't get that up and away. 5 strikeouts for Porcello. And 4 of his last 5 outs have been via a strikeout.
And he used his fastball different ways to get those strikeouts. He's gone up in the zone. He's sunk it in on a couple of right-handers. So he's doing what he needs to do, which is command that fastball and try to keep these guys off his off-speed stuff.
Ozuna singled and scored. This guy can hit. He hits the ones, the twos, the threes. He hits the high quality, high velocity relief pitchers late in the game. That's why the Braves are happy to have him. And on the season, blistering start, closing in on a 400 average. 1 ball, 1 strike. Popped up right side. Alonso, foul ground, takes a peek at the stands to the warning track. Will reach over and put that away for the 2nd out.
But I've been impressed in the handful of games now we've seen the Mets with Alonso's improvement over there at first base. He's gotten a whole lot better. Looks a lot more comfortable over there.
The Mets shift for Matt Adams, who cued one up the middle, or slightly to the left of up the middle. Well, that was up the middle for him, I guess I'd say, for an RBI hit. He was in camp with New York and opted out, and the Braves quickly scooped him up. And right there, a strike for an even count. Popped up left side. Porcello gives chase, but runs out of real estate. It's 1-2. To your point about how life is on the road, got an update on the Marlins, who've been idled for about a week now. The players who do not have COVID are going to apparently head to Baltimore to get set for a series. They'll bring in the free agent guys they signed, fill in with their 30-man roster. But the players who are still in quarantine are going to be placed on a sleeper bus and drive from Philadelphia to Miami to continue their quarantine.
Well, I know teams had contingency plans in the event guys tested positive on the road, to where they had maybe some hotel rooms or some apartments or things of that nature kind of lined up for some guys, but I don't think anybody envisioned 14 guys having to be housed.
So that's a 1,200-mile trip for the Marlins. The Cardinals apparently had a couple of guys test positive today. Their series with the Brewers, which was to be the home opener in Milwaukee, postponed. Tomorrow's game, I believe, is also postponed. They're going to try to play a doubleheader there Sunday. As this one's popped up on the infield, who wants it? Ramos tells Adams to get out of the way. Alonso joins him, and it'll be Ramos in foul ground, and that ends the Atlanta third. 2-0 Braves. We go to the 4th.
Truist,
And
everybody.
we are
Top of the fourth.
back from
Braves
the break.
leading 2-0.
Braves up
Well,
2-0.
This is a cool story. Scott Cunningham and his Braves Vision team collaboratively came up with the idea to put A-list members or season ticket holders up on the Jumbotron and allow them to celebrate throughout the games. So you will see multiple players and families sitting at home going crazy during home runs or good things happening. And guys, it gets even better. Next week, Braves players will be able to look up there and see their own families cheering for them on the Jumbotron. Just little things during this 2020 year to make things more fun.
Good report, Paul. Yeah, the Braves have done a great job with the cutouts behind home plate, the video board, the Delta scoreboard.
Hey,
yeah, all of
guys, the internet's on
great as we try to feel normal again.
sale.
And things feeling normal for the Braves head-to-head with the Mets, beating them again to this point, 2-0 after 3, with Nimmo, Alonso, and J.D. Davis coming up against Sean Newcomb. Sean's given up 1 hit in his first 3 frames tonight. Looks a lot more comfortable than he did in New York.
Yeah, he absolutely does.
Chip Carey,
Sir,
if your family was up on that Jumbotron down in Florida, would they be going nuts or booing you?
well,
I know your family's tough on you.
yeah, my family's tough on me, but my son Tristan is like the biggest Ronald Acuna Jr. fan in the world. I'm sure he's watching the game tonight, and he's going to say tonight's the night he breaks out.
I love it.
He's ready, yeah. Two balls and a strike for Nimmo, who was caught looking his first time up, trying to extend his on-base streak to 23 games. And that's outside. This guy's a good player. Just hasn't been able to stay healthy. Neck problems cost him about 100 games last year.
Yeah, I like him. I mean, another one of those guys that plays hard, gives you good at-bats, plays good defense.
Full count pitch. Here it is. And out of play, foul. And sure enough, as soon as Paul asked me about my family, and I don't mention my twins, just got called out.
Phone's blowing up.
Yeah.
Come on, Dad.
Yeah, we know our place now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. With nobody on or out of play, foul. Yeah, I think my sons Stefan and Krister would like to be on the board too. Your gang, Tom? Your little guy would probably love
My
to
little
be.
guy probably like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the older kids probably, I don't know.
Nimmo making Newcomb work here. A rare prolonged at bat for a Mets hitter. And that's out of play, foul. What was that stat you had earlier, Tommy, about their aggressiveness at the plate?
18% of their at-bats are 1 pitch. And 3.75 pitches per at-bat is their average. So this is really blowing that stat up right now.
Yeah, he's going to see a 9th pitch.
Yes.
That's 3 at-bats worth.
Exactly.
The 3-2. Again out of play. So now you're in the head of Sean Newcomb. All right, I'm giving you my best stuff, and you keep fouling it off.
Just keep going after him.
Strike 3 called. Nimmo flipped the bat away, tried to coax ball forward. Instead, he strikes out looking for the second
You
time.
never planned on.
Another one on the upper portion of the strike zone. Maybe borderline, got the benefit of the call. But they've been calling him up there.
I was going to say, at some point, don't the hitters have to make the adjustment and say, look, they're calling it, whether we like it or not, we got to swing the bat there.
Yeah, I mean, they may have to, I guess. They probably don't want to. It's not a pitch that they're going to do much with anyway. So, you know, I'm sure they'll argue that, you know, we don't want to be expanding our zone up there. But like you say, the umpires have been pretty aggressive for the most part in calling those pitches.
Here's Alonso.
But it's important.
Freddie
The person who owns the government owns the power. That's a very good insight for everyone to have.
Like so
if
many
you
of the other
have the
sluggers in
departments,
Major
the
League
Homeland
Baseball,
Security
has not been
Department,
a
the
stranger to
military, and all the
strikeout.
other
He was
elements of
punched out
executive
9
power,
times this
you have an
year.
enormous advantage. And so you have to play off that
Braves
insight.
got him 5 times in 11 at-bats in the season opening series. Sean is as flushed as the Braves home Reds on Friday night.
All right, the Bone Crusher back with you. Thank you to Tom Glavine and Chip Carey for the play-by-play. Newcomb pitching here in the top of the 4th. Braves lead 2-0. There's 1 out, nobody on. 2-1 pitch to Alonso downstairs. Hit us up in the chat box. Let us know where you're at. August 22nd, I get my normal channel back for live streaming, and that's a walk. So 1 on, 1 out. And here comes J.D. Davis. Will we even get to finish the season? They're going to have to shut it down. J.D. Davis steps into the box. Newcomb takes the sign. And the pitch. Upstairs. 1-0. ESPN is reporting that the MLB commissioner is warning of a COVID-19 shutdown. 21 players now total from the Miami Marlins have tested positive for COVID. You know, it's just the Marlins. You know, if the Marlins don't play another game this year, you know, are we really going to... That's really not a problem. I mean, they were not too long ago an expansion team, right? So maybe we can unexpand them. And we'll have that story coming up in just a moment at after this half inning. Get the latest on what the commissioner is saying. Rob Manfred is warning that if coronavirus isn't managed better, he may end season. Three and 1 now. Davis watches that pitch go over. Foul ball. Full count. It was supposed to be the home opener for the Marlins, but that's been canceled. You know, if the Marlins can't get enough people on the field due to the virus, they could just pull some people off the streets. And there's a shot deep. J.D. Davis is going to take that one to the wall, and it is out of here just over Azuna's head. A 2-run homer ties it up for the Mets. Fucking A. Ozuna almost brought that one back in. I don't know how athletic Ozuna is, you know. He would maybe need to be a little more athletic. I mean, he can get the glove up over the fence a little bit, but he does not. I'm going to go ahead and say Ozuna probably cannot dunk. Watching him try to climb the wall there. Outside. Oh, that's going to be called a strike. 0-1 to Conforto. Yarte's got that pop up for out number 2. Hit us up in the chat box. Let us know you are locked in. And the Red Sox are trailing the Yankees in the top of the 4th, 1-2. Oh, thank you for the beverage. See? What is this? Coconut coffee water? That is different. Coconut coffee water. That's the kind of stuff you get at Ross Dress for Less. Have you been to this place? Anyone watching ever been to Ross Dress for Less? All right, Zuna's got that pop up for out number 3 right in front of the track and the top of the 4th. But JD Davis goes deep. All right, we are in a break right now. So yeah, I'm trying this coffee coconut water that producer Beth picked up at Ross Dress for Less. If you ever been in that place, it's like downtown Lebanon or downtown Beirut in there. People are ripping clothes off the hangers, shopping on the floor. And with COVID-19, they've closed the dressing room and the bathrooms. So you can't get to the bathroom. What is that other store that's also owned by the same people? It's almost just like Ross, except they don't have public bathrooms at all. Was it TJ Michaels? That's TJ Maxx. Well, one of those places, there's one in Macon. We're in a break right now, over by the mall. Shitty stores I hate going to. Alright, we are in a break here, going to the bottom of the 4th, all tied up at 2. $6 bag of coffee, and what is that? Breakfast blend of a lot of Starbucks coffee. I do like that. That'll be delish. All right, we are back in Atlanta. Braves coming up to bat. Got some new faces. Riley's going to be batting second. O'Reilly, the O'Reilly factor. Marcelo still pitching for the Mets. Darnod. He looks like that French guy on the TV show Hogan's Heroes. You remember that? That last name maybe is French. Denard. 2-0 count. Braves batting, bottom of the 4th. Nobody on, nobody out. Outside, 3-0. Let us know where you are watching at tonight. I am on the Panhandle, Northwest Florida. Maybe we'll play Florida Man. And that's outside ball 4. And Porcello's got his arms up, like, hey, where was that? Come on up. No, I didn't see the laser cam. Sure, we'll see a replay of that. But Porcello kind of chopping at the ump. And he does have something to fuss about because that was a low strike. Laser cam proves that. Maybe we'll play Would You Rather. Would you rather chew on Paula Dean's box or have Gary Busey sit on your face? Riley batting now. He takes a 0-1 pitch. That is going to nip the outside corner up high. 0-2 to Riley, who's batting about 100. He did have a huge home run off the upper deck facade a few days ago. 0-2 pitch coming up to Riley. Porcello rocks and fires way upstairs. 1-2. Some folks complain saying, hey, why isn't Camargo at third? We got to give everyone some at-bats. But I'm excited about Camargo. Looking sharp. Riley swings and just gets a piece of the high heater. 92 miles an hour from Porcello. So it's 1-2. Darno steals second. He could have gone to third as the ball got away from the second baseman, but he did not recognize. All right, I think we're going to let Tom Glavine and Chip Caray bring us the rest of the fourth inning here, courtesy of Fox Sports South. But first, let's see what Riley can do here. The 2-2 pitch. Inside, Riley fouls that off. So Riley's got a guy in scoring position here. See if he can get him through. Riley's not thinking home run here. He's thinking contact. 2-2 pitch. Let's see if Porcello's going to drop a slider. I think he's going to try to slide it outside. Ball 3, full count. Three-two pitch outside. Riley, good eye. He's going to take a base. First and second. I think Porcello's having a hard time shaking off that bad call by the ump. This is going to be Echeverria is in. 0 for 1 on the night. And we picked him up last year. I thought he was just a pickup for the rest of the season, but we still got him. Great defensive guy. And sometimes some timely hitting. Steps out, calls for time. All right, let's turn this over to Chip and Tom.
We're going to do it. This certainly would be a spot to do it. I think I'd still be surprised if they did. Danny could very well try it on his own, but
That was not an I'm going to bunt approach. Strike one.
No.
Luis Rojas, part of a great baseball family. His dad is Felipe Alou, great manager in his own right, former Brave. Runner at second is going. The pitch popped up to right. Conforto has it measured up, and the runners will have to scramble back. So Echeverria pops out. Both runners were in motion. No advance, and Ender hits with one out.
d'Arnaud trying to triple his stolen base count.
Ender's another guy we got to get going. He's going to play against the righties for the most part, and then come in defensively late in games. Lefties are on the mound. He too has gotten out of the starting gate with a 111 average. One ball, no strikes. And ball two. The last thing Porcello wants to do is load him up with you-know-who waiting on deck.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you catch yourself, even after you'd been in the league 9-10 years, looking at that guy instead of the guy at the plate?
Well, I mean, I think you would have in your mind that, you know, you kind of get into the negative thinking, so to speak, right? The things you're not supposed to do, where you're telling yourself, okay, don't walk these guys and load the bases for that guy that's on deck. Well, it's like, well, that's not the way you're supposed to be thinking, but it's hard not to.
Braves have done an excellent job hitting with runners in scoring position so far this year. Look, small sample size, we know, but a .358 team mark, nothing to sneeze at. And now I would imagine Ender will have the tiniest of strike zones ahead in the count 3-0 with one out.
Absolutely. Wouldn't be surprised to see him take two pitches.
And Porcello wise to that, threw a strike. 3-1. Let's see if all bets are off now. Back-to-back walks. d'Arnaud and Riley. Echeverria popped out. Now Ender way ahead in the count as the Braves' number 9 hitter, and Acuna lurking.
Yeah, he's not, you know, I think here you just got to be super selective. You got to look for a pitch that you can drive. Otherwise, let it go. He got one. Just missed it.
Wow. Center cut. Man, we're seeing hitters all over baseball missing fastballs down the middle early. Or just fouling them off like that. So a reprieve for Porcello, who's about to make a huge pitch.
There.
3-2, 1 out. Runners hold. Pitch is bounced toward Alonso at first. He'll fire to second for one, and that's all the Mets are going to get. So nice comeback for Porcello from a 3-0 count. He gets Ender to roll into a force play on a 3-2 pitch. Now Acuna's coming up with 2 outs. Let's see who's bringing the lumber. It's presented by Yellowwood.
Acuna career versus the Mets. 29 games.
Probably not going to be cooking much.
315 average. 19 RBI, 21 runs. I got an interesting one for you. So you remember the other night we talked to Hank Aaron, opening night?
Yes.
Never struck out 100 times in a season, right? 1995, Tony Gwynn hit 368. With Ronald's strikeout in the first inning, his 15th of the year, he's equaled Tony's number of strikeouts that entire season.
Wow. How many did Gwynn have?
15.
First pitch swing and a fly ball deep center. Nimmo on the run in front of the Braves bullpen. And Atlanta can't cash in. 2 on, nobody out, as Porcello survives the bottom of the 4th.
Days ago, forgot about it. So. Oh, I give you a snack, I give everybody a snack. Everybody wants a snack.
All-inclusive experience. Enjoy padded lower-level seats behind home plate, in-seat food, and beverage service. Complimentary parking and more. Limited memberships are available. Visit Braves.com/premium. And we all hope somehow, some way, when it's safe to do so, we will have fans in Major League ballparks in 2020. And hopefully that's sooner rather than later. Newcomb to work in the 5th inning. Lower third. Cano, Ramos, and Andres Jimenez are coming up. Cano picked up the first Mets hit. That was back in inning number 3. Braves about hit New York 5-2, but we're tied where it counts. And another high strike. I'm a little too high.
Yeah, he's calling it up there. Called the first one. Why not? Try it again. But a little too high.
Off speed and rifled to right. Acuna is going back. That one's going to sail right on out of here. A long home run for Robinson Cano. First home run of the season. A 2-hit night for Cano, and the Mets enjoy the lead.
Looked like a hanging breaking ball that he just kind of flipped the barrel on. Yep. Kind of had that top hand come off the bat, but got it on the barrel, and we all know the ball flies here to right field.
So the Braves have seen the Mets erase a 2-0 lead. A couple of homers. Davis and Cano. Now Ramos is up.
I just want you to know, Chip, that
are showing up over
my
there.
advanced scouting report has been completely wrong tonight.
Really? Line drive to right. Ronald's going to play that on a couple of hops.
Mets have only swung at the first pitch one time tonight. See, that's why you can't trust scouting reports.
Yeah. Well, they probably got told by their coaching staff, look, we got to work the count.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Change our luck.
Yeah.
Things weren't so good in the 4-game series with the Red Sox. So the second time through the order for Newcomb has been problematic. 2 homers, a walk, and a single, and 3 runs. Here's Jimenez. A bunt try. Freeman's got it. Who's going to get to first? Newcomb, but it's late. Bunt hit. That's the speed we talked about with that youngster, Andres Jimenez.
Yeah, that was a perfectly executed bunt. I'm not sure if Sean had gotten over there, they would have gotten him anyway. That's where you put that bunt down, and then it's a race between you and the pitcher, and he was going to win that race.
First trip to the mound for Rick Kranitz tonight. As Newcomb up to 71 pitches. He breezed through the first 3 innings.
Being about
39 pitches, 26 pitches in the 4th inning. And don't forget that at bat by Brandon Nimmo, that 10-pitch at bat. Sean's been a different guy since that sequence, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I mean, Nimmo made him work. He ultimately won the battle, but yeah, walking a home run after that. Now here we are in the 5th inning, a homer and 2 singles. So it's been different.
So the meeting over, and here's Rosario, the man that loves hitting in Atlanta. Fastball strike, 0-1. 2 on, nobody out, a run in for the Mets in the 5th. There's several things you hold out hope for in this game tonight. Number one, we're only midway through. 2, the Braves will have the 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up against Porcello, who will be seeing the Braves lineup for a 3rd time. But let's be honest, the Mets bullpen has been problematic for them.
Yeah, and certainly had designs on it being a bright spot for them.
In the air to shallow right, and Ronald's going to catch this. Tommy, sorry for the first out.
No, that's all right, and it may very well turn out to be a bright spot for them as the year goes on, but to this point it's been a struggle.
So keep it close.
Yes, because conversely, the Braves bullpen has lived up to expectations. They've been fantastic.
Exactly right. Here's Nimmo. He's the villain so far in an 0-for-2 game where he's got a couple of teammates with home runs. To this point, he might be their offensive MVP. That 10-pitch sequence in the 4th inning to get things started. And the Mets have plated 3 runs since. One ball, no strikes. There's a good pitch right under his hands, or maybe over his hands.
Yeah,
because that was up in the zone a little bit. 1-1 the count to Brandon Nimmo. Another foul ball. It's 1-2. I think Nimmo's taking care of about 2 dozen all by himself.
Yeah.
(3-2) New York on the Robinson Cano homer into the seats in right. And Darno, a nice stop. And saved in advance. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Braves and Mets meet again tomorrow night. Brian Snitker announced before the game that it'll be Touki Toussaint pitching for Atlanta. Michael Wacha will go to the mound for New York. Kyle Wright Sunday afternoon. David Peterson for the Mets. We haven't seen him. And then Monday night, Soroka and DeGrom, episode 2. Line drive left field. That's down for a base hit. Ramos will not advance, and the Mets have him loaded. Fourth hit of the inning for New York, and all of a sudden you have to face Pete Alonso with the bases loaded, and Sean Newcomb will not be allowed to do that. First 3 innings, Tom, terrific for Sean. But after the Nimmo at bat, the tide turned in New York's favor. They lead at 3-2 as we continue in the top of the 5th inning. Exciting benefits like priority access to postseason games, invitations to member-only events, discounts on concessions, merchandise, and parking too. Become a member. Go to Braves.com/A-list. Well, a tough spot here for Jhoulys Chacín, who's back with the Braves for a second time. Bases loaded, and the league's home run champ in the batter's box.
Yeah, go get him. 3 2/3 innings, a hit, a walk and a strikeout. Picked up the win against the Mets. So he's looking to get out of this with little or no damage and keep this within striking distance for the Braves.
Alonso for his career 1 for 8 with the bases loaded. Chacín will try to make that 1 for 9. Alonso walked and scored ahead of J.D. Davis's home run, so he's 0 for 1 in tonight's game. Bases full of Mets, and that's inside. Ball 1. You might ask, why is Matthew Kaminsky playing Winnie the Pooh when Pete Alonso steps into the batter's box?
Because of his nickname.
The polar bear is why. As the wind picks up, blowing out straight toward left. 1-0 pitch. Missed again. Ball 2. And a ways to go in this game, but if you had to write the game story, it's kind of hard to think that a strikeout might be the biggest sequence in a game your team wins. And to this point for the Mets, that's exactly it. That Nimmo 10-pitch at bat. And now Chacín's come in and quickly 3-0. All Sean can do is watch and wait. The runners aboard belong to him. His thumbs, and Alonso, green light. Why not? Fouled it away. 3-1.
Yeah, but if you're going to get a 3-0 green light, I'm thinking you don't want to hit one off your thumbs. But not surprised he had the green light, but I think probably need to see a little bit better pitch than that.
Chacín still behind in the count, delivers. And Alonso with a bases loaded walk. So Chacín can't retire the first man he faces. Ramos will score, give Alonso his 3rd RBI of the year. And the merry-go-round continues for the Mets. 4-2 now, and here's Davis, who tied the game last time up. So these free-swinging Mets have been a lot more patient tonight.
They certainly have.
There's a bender in for a strike. Chacín was with the Twins. Was granted his release on July 19th. The Braves signed him 2 days later. Looking at Julius's numbers with the Twins, I don't think he was going to make the club. 6 runs in 8 innings. He did start 5 games for Atlanta in the midst of the rebuild back in 2016, and then made his way to the Angels. But he's back, and with Josh Tomlin, one of the 2 long men in relief for Brian Snitker. 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Good sequence, freezes Davis, who's down on strikes for the 2nd time. That's big out.
Huge out.
Conforto to hit it on the ground, you're in business.
Not real sure what he was looking for that hole at bat, but steady dose of breaking balls and takes called 3rd strike.
Get ready, Marcel. Conforto's up. He's flied out to left twice.
You know, that's exactly what you do in Little League, too.
Oh.
Right? Guy flies out like that twice. Everybody in the bench is yelling, hey, coming your way.
A-bomb's in the house.
Love it. 1 ball, no strikes for Michael Conforto.
Just in time because the
From a very serious
Conforto's batting with the bases loaded.
player. Like watching him a lot.
That's a strike.
For a strike.
1-1.
It's
Just had a
1-1.
pitching change. Who is that? Can't see the tiny fonts.
Jimenez with a bunt
I
single.
need bigger
stands at
glasses.
third.
What's going on, A-Bomb? Yeah, it hasn't been very busy in here at all.
Alonso drew a
Very
walk.
quiet.
He's at first. And fouled away. Conforto chased a bit. Michael's taken
Foul,
some
1
heat
and
the
2.
last couple of days in New York. He's had some run-scoring opportunities at the plate.
Yeah, it's
Didn't come
just like,
through.
you know, probably starting
It's fun
over
to
with the
read
new
the
channel. I
tabloids
mean,
when
it
they
was
talk
so
about a
hard to
player's
get the
performance
last
and they
channel
say,
going. You know,
Conforto failed.
reminds me of the first games where
Yeah, drive in a run.
it was
and
just
that's
like
it.
this. Wasn't very busy at all. A few folks pop in.
That's the nature of the stage in
And I
New
would
York.
often just play
Ball, 2
the
strikes.
audio feed until people showed up.
Try there.
In the
Good
dirt.
take.
2-2.
And a good block.
Braves definitely need to get out of this jam. Chassin, is that this guy's name?
Two balls, 2 strikes.
2-2 to Conforto.
Another good stop. Tell you
Full
what,
count.
the defense that Paul Bird mentioned has to include the great job by the Braves. 4 catchers. they've used
Nobody's
already this year.
home.
Jackson, Contreras, Flowers, who threw out Kiermaier last night in the 9th inning. And Darno
We don't
with
know
some
if the
stops here.
MLB season will
Really
still be
impressive
going
work.
on when I get out of YouTube jail August 22nd.
No place to put
MLB
Conforto
commissioner
with a full
threatening
count.
to shut things down if Corona isn't contained. And here comes the 3-2 pitch.
Did he
Did he
go?
check his swing?
He did not.
Oh, they
Tips
just
ball
walked in a
forward.
run.
Chassin and Darno can't believe it. Second bases loaded walk in the inning, and Brian Snitker and Rick Kranitz start hollering down at third base.
I didn't think that was close.
And you know these guys are throwing strikes all during practice. They get out there, maybe they're a little nervous. They try to be a little too perfect. Does he go around?
That was closer than I thought.
No, not a horrible call, I guess, by the ump. That call could have gone either way.
So 3 runs are in for the Mets thanks to 2 bases loaded walks. You see the frustration of Kevin Seitzer as Cespedes becomes the 9th man to hit in the inning.
Is still
5-2
loaded.
New York now.
Could get ugly. 2 outs. Another check swing ball there. So Enos Cespedes.
15 pitches for Chassin, only 6 strikes.
1-0.
And a line drive to
That's
left
going to
field.
be
That's
scorched
gonna
in the
get
left
down for a
field.
base hit and
At
score
least
2.
one run's going to
Streaking
score. Another
turn
runner
for
is going to
Conforto
score.
will be held up. A ringing double for Yoenis Cespedes, and the Mets are pulling away.
2 RBI double.
7-2. They've got a 5-run 5th here in Atlanta tonight.
It is 7-2 Mets.
Fastball, middle end. Looked like it was going to be a ball, but Cespedes did a good
And we're
job
gonna
pulling his hands in, keeping that
Let
ball
Chip
fair
and
down the line.
Tom
Easy double.
finish the
couple
rest of the
RBI.
inning.
With the big inning and against them, and another one here tonight.
So here's Cano, who got the fun started for New York with a leadoff homer. Six of the 7 runs belong to Sean Newcomb over 4 1/3 innings. The 7th run, Alonso, came thanks to the First batter walk from Jhoulys Chacín. 7-2 Mets. Braves led 2-0 after 3 innings. They got both of their runs in the first. Boy, they've been out there a while. You see all the pawing in the dirt. Echeverria waving his arms out at second just to try to stay loose. And 0-2. Two on, 2 out, 5 in. The pitch. Smoked over second, a base hit, 1 is in. Here comes Cespedes around third. He's not going to run on Acuña's arm. And d'Arnaud smothers that at the plate. So Chacín has come on and has been tattooed.
Wow, 8-2 now as this one is getting out of hand.
It's 8-2. Yeah, slider up.
Ooh.
There's too many of those.
Braves getting rocked, and producer Beth is sniffing around for some din-din. I decide if I'm going to cook something or go get something.
6 hits, 2 walks so far in the inning for New York.
But there's a big line at El Guadalajara's tonight. I've been wanting to get the California burrito. What's up, Claw? What you doing, boy?
Behind 0-2. Well, our hope was tonight that Sean Newcomb would come out, have a strong game. First 3 innings looked like he was going to have one. But if you look at the overall line, that didn't happen. So the questions about the 3, 4, 5 spots will continue for another day. 0-2 pitch. And that is strike 3, and that will mercifully end a big New York 5th inning. They score 6 times and lead at 8-2.
Unfortunately, if you are a Braves fan, we're down 8-2. Now, there's winners and there's losers of 2020. Losers, fans who love to come to the game, not just watch on TV. winners? Well, Ed Mangan's grounds crew, who gets the best seat in the house. And if the Braves are going to come back, we're going to need help from the Bangin' Mangans.
We always need more cowbell, right? I like it.
There you have it, guys.
Love it.
The old Brooklyn Dodgers days, they used to have a fake orchestra in the outfield. They called them the Symphony Band. And there was a lady, I believe her name was Clara, her last name escapes me, and she'd be out there with a cowbell just clanging away, making noise. But it's great. Have some fun with it. So Rick Porcello down 2 runs in the first inning, thinking, oh my gosh, here we go again. Well, figured some things out. Braves have 1 hit since the first inning. And New York has erupted for 8 runs to give him a 6-run lead on a night he's looking for win number 150. Dansby Swanson, Freddie Freeman, Marcell Ozuna the batter. And a promising start. After you get 6 runs, you walk the leadoff guy.
Yeah, that's drive yourself crazy and your coach is crazy right there.
So Freddie Freeman's the batter. He's also our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot feature. Why not? Freddie 1 for 2 tonight. Freddie kills the Mets wherever he plays them.
Yeah, last 2 seasons versus the Mets at home. Big numbers.
And now Ramos wants to talk to Porcello, who I'm sure will be reminded you have a 6-run lead.
Yeah. Go ahead and let them see if they can hit it out of the ballpark. Yeah, so we showed you those numbers, Freddie. Freddie's career numbers against the Mets in 163 games. It's a hell of a year. 308, 27 homers, and 107 RBI.
Take that.
Yeah.
One ball, no strikes. Shift on for Freeman. Lifted left side. Davis coming in. Rosario going out. It'll be Davis who drops the ball. And the throw is late at second base. Davis drops it in left field, and there's a huge break.
I had a feeling that was going to be trouble with the shift on. Rosario had a long way to go. Davis had a long way to go, and then Davis looked like he was settling under it and just didn't quite squeeze it.
Davis commits the error, and Dansby, with his good speed, had to hustle to get to second. Otherwise, he would have been forced out. And now, Luis Rojas out to talk with Porcello. He's up to 82 pitches. Not only talk to him, but he may be pulling him from the game. He is. So Porcello cannot get through 5 innings with an 8-2 lead. Paul Sewald is in. 8-2 is your score. Mets have the lead, but the Braves are threatening. As we continue in the bottom of the 5th inning, let's first enjoy a quick message from Racetrack.
A loaded hot dog and a coffee.
Third appearance for Paul Sewald, who pitched a couple of innings against the Braves up in New York and didn't fare all that well. 2 runs in 2 innings, Tom.
Yeah, so let's see if we can take advantage of that. For all the Mets struggles, though, they've been pretty good with inherited runners. Stranded 11 of 13 so far on the year. Braves got a leadoff walk and an error. See if we can take advantage of that.
Ozuna is the hitter, 1 for 2. And that's downstairs to Marcell. 1 ball, no strikes. Ozuna 3 for 8 in his career against Paul Sewald. That's a .375 average. So ought not be any secrets between these two as the middle of the order's up for the Braves, down 6. And right there for a strike. Marcell wanted that one back. Mets have had bullpen troubles. They've allowed 7 homers. They have a .590 ERA. Against the Braves, 10 earned runs in 15 innings pitched collectively. We've got a ways to go tonight. Just missed it. Popped it up again. Left side. Who wants it? Jimenez. Rosario. Foul ground. And it's Rosario with a nice play.
Yeah, to run a long way on that one. He's going to be exhausted. That's a good play. That is not an easy play running down the line like that. Ball's coming back towards you. I'm not sure Jimenez would have caught that ball. I think he thought he was in position, but he was not.
And Rosario, as you said, almost didn't too. So the first out is a pop out. And it brings up Matt Adams. An RBI hit for Matt. Long one here wouldn't hurt. Braves are down 6. On the ground, that is a fair ball past Alonso and headed for the corner. Dansby will score. Freeman on his way to third. Matt Adams with an RBI double, and the Braves trim the lead to 8-3. Two RBI night for Matt Adams, give him 6.
Perfectly placed. Fastball up over the plate. And just hugged it right down the line.
So after a big offensive top of the inning, the Braves come back and answer. They've got one of those 6 runs back. Let's see what d'Arnaud can do. He's singled, walked, and has an RBI. All the guys banging on the plastic buckets down there. It sounds like a game at Marlins Park when they have the vuvuzelas going on. All that crazy noise bouncing around the park. Good cut, fouled back, 1 ball, 1 strike. Sewald ready. And the pitch. Breaking ball had d'Arnaud out in front of 1-2 count. Sewald from the University of San Diego, same alma mater as Chris Bryant, superstar with the Cubs. And the 1-2 pitch. Ripped into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. That'll score one more. Freeman comes home. Momentary bobble by Conforto, but no further damage. 8-4 now your score. Braves cash in a walk and an error and close the book on Porcello. 4 runs in 4+ innings.
Another good job of hitting there by Travis. Ball out over the plate, drives it to right field.
So again, on paper, you figure if it's a battle of the bullpens, the Braves have an advantage. But the advantage for New York is they still lead by 4 runs. That could change with one swing of the bat from Austin Riley. Riley has bounced out and walked. 8-4 game. 8 total runs scored in the 5th inning alone. And the plate, but low, I guess. Ball 1.
Yeah, I guess he hadn't called anything down there tonight, so.
Echeverria waits next. The way the Mets bullpen is set up, they've got Juris Familia, Dylan Betances, Edwin Diaz, and Seth Lugo. Lugo's their 2-inning guy. If a starter goes 5 or so, but they can't use him back-to-back days that way.
Right.
On the ground, left side. Throw to second for 1. On to first, and it gets away from Alonso. Riley's going to try for 2. Alonso picks it up, has no other play. Another run is in, and a runner at second. Mets get the force. Riley gets to second. He gets the RBI. Can't assume the double play. It's a 3-run Atlanta inning. It's 8-5. Swipe try by Alonso. It just didn't stick. So Echeverria with a hit could bring home another run. What a crazy inning. 9 runs total. The pitch. I think the drums and the cowbells have the Mets rattled here.
I think you're right.
No balls at a strike. On the ground, slowly hit to short. Rosario's got it. Perfect throw to first, and that will retire the side. Braves cash in a Mets error and draw closer. 3-run game now as we head to the 6th.
Hoy hoy. Ooh, and a break. Just put in a little order at Guadalajara. I finally got the order finished. I had to call twice, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, there's like a 40-minute wait." Last time I went over there to pick up my takeout food, I guess their air conditioner was broken or they didn't have it on. But man, I sat there sweated my ass off waiting for them to my to-go order ready. I'm not going to show up early. I learned my lesson with that. in a break. So the Braves just picked up 3, so it's 8-5. The Mets are leading. That gives us a chance to get back in this.
Braves and the Mets from Truist Park, presented by Kaiser Permanente. Thrive. Well, whose bullpen is going to thrive tonight? That's going to decide this game. Julius Chacin back out in an 8-5 game after 5 complete.
Chacin is back in the game, still pitching, I mean, for the Braves. Some new faces on the team from last year. Well, let's see if he can hold Jimenez and the Mets here in the top of the 6. And the first pitch of the 6 is downstairs, 1-0. I did watch some bit of dude show. What's the Slita Sports Live and the ATL guy? And he is fastball, fastball, fastball. He knows his baseball. And he brings you the baseball. And it's hardcore baseball. And he is very serious about it. He's using a program called, I think it's called StreamYard. I haven't used it yet, but I've heard some chatter about it. And he had a link. Here's the 1-1 chop foul. And he had a link in the description. So, you know, if he invited you on the show, I think one of his regulars was a guest. But some kid, I guess, clicked on it, was trying to get on the show uninvited, and, you know, he disciplined that young man. He looks like a thinner, younger Ed Bradley from 60 Minutes. 90-day chip today, eh? Well, that's pretty good. Mail that to Chris Davies. Riley's gonna feel that line drive at third and guns him down. 1 away. And, you know, I tried to tell a few jokes down the chat box, but he just, you know, he passed on those. He did not want to recognize, you know, he's this fastball play-by-play guy. You know what I mean? He's not going to do any lifestyle content. Uh-oh. Shit. Home run, Rosario for the Mets. That's a solo job. 9-5 New York. He's not going to do any lifestyle programming. I was and I was joking about the lighting on his show, because I guess the kitchen light in the ceiling, the way he had the camera positioned, it was really distracting. The lighting on his show, you know, it's not very good, but the content was great and all. So I made a few jokes, and yeah, he passed on all those jokes. He disciplined a young man for trying to get in on his StreamYard. .1-0 pitch now. And that is going to be a swinging bunt, and he's in a no play there, so runner safe at first. So the Mets have a run on first now. That was a swing and bunt. That worked out great for the Mets there. Yeah, but it's good to have a variety of play-by-play reaction hosts available on YouTube. If you don't want to hear all the fluff and shit I bring to the table, you want to talk hardcore sports, as that one sails inside. 1-0 to Alonso. One like. The commissioner of MLB threatening to shut down the season if the COVID isn't contained. So I think we are at 50-50 estimate A-Bomb gave before on the finishing the season. Yeah, that's if 50-50. What did you order from La Guadalajara? Trying to steal second here, and he does as the pitch goes off of Hechervaria's glove into center field, and the runner picks up another base all the way to third on a stolen base and an error, I'm sure, there. Well, I was going to order the California burrito, but instead we went with the steak fajitas for one, which is always more than enough for one. If you ever go to a Mexican restaurant, you know, you're on a date, oh yeah, let's share the fajitas. Just get the fajitas for one. It's enough. That's plenty. The 1-1. Yeah, right to Hechervaria is going to throw him out at first. Out number 2. Runner has to stay at third. And one problem with a Guadalajara restaurant is their location. It's not very far for me, but over there at the, what's it called? The St. Thomas Shopping Center, whatever. This is where I guess a bottleneck or juncture is in the sewage system, which is woefully outdated, probably has been upped since the 60s, and since then all these big high rises have gone in. So this is some sort of stinky zone, man. Some nights, you know, you get in your car to go in for a Mexican meal and you smell the sewer just wafting over that area. I mean, you might be in your car with your windows up and you drive through there and you're choking. It's horrible. Some of the locals call it poo-poo alley. It's disgusting. I don't eat there as much as I probably would. And there's some, you know, it's like a work-live place. There's apartments upstairs, and I can't imagine, and with these really nice balconies and stuff, you know, who's gonna want to live there? So I've been asking about that, and some people finally told me on the Nextdoor app that it's been going, you know, what the deal was. It's gonna be brought up at a city council meeting or something. Yeah, some sort of weird sewage situation. Oh shit, another run for the Mets. Is that one, I want to call it a duck snort, but it was a little drooper there. Just a weekly hit, and Nemo crosses home. Nemo found home. You know, that swinging bunt was you know, that was not a good hit, and this was just, you know, the guy kind of stayed back and just got into play, and, you know, I guess a good piece of hitting in that regard, but it was not like it was a hard hit ball there. Snickers out there. All right, right now in Bay County, there are 80 people in the hospital for COVID. 100 new cases have been reported, according to the Nextdoor app. I don't know if you use the Nextdoor app, A-Bomb. It's an app just for you and your neighbors. So it's just people in your neighborhood. You know, people might report some suspicious activity, or maybe a garage sale, or, you know, just whatever the neighbors would be talking about relative to your community. So it's a good app. It's a good app called Nextdoor. There might be some kind of minor verification process. Good place for people to vent. It doesn't usually get very political in there. Rarely does it get political, but every now and then some Trumper starts running his mouth up in there. We are in a break. Got 2 in the house, 1 like. Welcome aboard, everybody. The Bone Crusher, temporarily on the Pfister channel. I'm in YouTube jail until August 22nd. Nobody beats the Giant. Landmark. DCJunior.com. Chip Carey, a sellout. No one beats the Giant. We're probably on a huge delay here. Matzek batting or pitching, Conforto batting. That's going to be, is that going to stay in play? Azuno got it. Inciarte, Acuna, and Swanson batting next. Yes, the DH. Inciarte. I don't know if he's the DH, but he's the number 9 batter, so effectively. I mean, the league does stuff to shorten the game, like trying to get extra innings over faster by putting a runner on second, yet we are extending the game by taking the pitcher out of the batting rotation. What do you think of the DH? What do you think of the ghost runner? These new rules? Let us know in the chat box. And A-Bomb has just been made moderator of the Pfister channel. We will be going back to the Bone Crusher channel in a couple of weeks or so. So that number you see on your screen, 412 subscribers, that is not accurate. We are on the Pfister channel, we only have 19 subscribers. What happened was I was getting up early doing these Taiwanese baseball games. I put the video on, and I had been putting just a few clips here and there on, but I had left it on. I may have fallen asleep, or I might not have given a shit, or just bending the rules. And some guy from Taiwan emailed me and was like, why are you stealing? And then I guess at the same time he'd put in a copyright complaint. And I wasn't even sure they could see it in that country. I was like, I'm getting all these subscribers from India for a baseball game in Taiwan, and I'm in America, so Chasen Shreve will be pitching for the Mets. 4.5 ERA in 2 innings of work this season. 0-0 record. We got 2 in the house. Welcome aboard. I am broadcasting from the Panhandle. PCB. So I still got to wait about 20-25 minutes before I go get my dinner. Swing and a miss from Inciarte. Braves down by 5. That's her hammering us all night long here. Outside, 1-1 to Inciarte. 92 on the gun from Shreve. And my boss at work gave me this mask. I was very surprised he had any of these masks, because he is definitely a anti-masker, Trumper. He thinks it's all a big scam. We need to be, everything needs to be open. He's only wearing masks. He has to. I don't say much about anything at work to him, but. And this thing doesn't even fit. I can't even wear it. It's like, this for kids or something? Like downstairs, 2-2 to NCRT. I'll try to put this on. You can see the problem here. Worst mask ever. Kind of weird when someone like hands you a mask. It's like, you know, I want that in the protective cellophane. You know, I'm not just gonna. Full count pitch outside. NCRT goes to first. Nobody out. 1 on. Bottom of the 6th. Down by a 5er. Yeah, the Democrats, you know, they crashed the economy just to get at Trump. You know, I would say in the last couple of months, I've seen less of that kind of stuff, you know, less positive Facebook stuff on Trump from my Facebook friends. It's still there, but it seems to have gone down, you know. People are being smarter about the COVID. There's a swing and a miss from Acuna, who is 1 for 3 tonight. But there's a few people like Ass Bags still holding on. 0-2 pitch coming up to Acuna. NCRT takes the lead. That's in the dirt. 1-2. Just wait for Acuna to get back on track. Having a slow start overall. He's certainly grown his hair out. Added a little extra gold, and I was watching some of his highlights from his rookie year, and he looks so much different. And he strikes out there on the changeup. So 1 away, 1 on. I believe that'll bring up Dansby Swanson probably. That would have been a ball, but you know, it looked like a strike and a low in the zone, and then it fell down, and Acuna over the top of it as Dansby Swanson comes in. Now Trump wants to postpone the election. Swing and a miss, way ahead of that one. Swanson goes down to a knee on that changeup. Now I never post anything on Facebook, but I will comment on people's bullshit sometimes. The 0-1 pitch. Foul, 1-1 or 0-2, I mean. So some guy, I guess one of my friends, Facebook friends, and she had posted something from the BBC, you know, about Trump's tweet about postponing the elections. I think she's a teacher or something, and she's like, you know, oh, it's okay for the kids to go to school, but we can't. It's too dangerous for an election, you know. And then this one guy is like, oh, that's from the BBC. That's bullshit. You know, voter fraud's a real problem, and then someone's like, it's not a real problem. The mail-in voter fraud. So he posts a article. I won't even call it an article. He posts something, and it says, yes, voter fraud is a real issue. Here's some cases about it. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's fouled off. And I looked at this thing, and yeah, it's not, you know, you're right, Bob. It's not even worth it. It's so frustrating when you do try to talk some sense into people. And I'll get back to my story in a minute, but I was watching a TED Talk video. One of these guys used to work for these big tech companies, just kind of explaining how all this news gets aggregated, how we see what we see, why we see certain stories. And that's going to be hit pretty deep. That's going to be off the top of the wall. Conforto falls down. Inciarte's in around third. He's heading home. The throw is going to miss the cutoff, man. Everybody's safe, and it's 10-6 Atlanta. Dansby Swanson with a ribby. Slug it out, guys. So basically, it's just a handful of major tech companies battling it out for your time. So when you're getting up or you're looking at your phone, they've got a very limited amount of time. They want to get your attention. So the object of the game is to, some people call it lizard brains, going lower on the brain stem, but they want you to be, what's the most common emotion they're trying to pull these days out of you? Freddie Freeman steps in for the 1-0 pitch. One out here in the bottom of the 6th. Freddie fouls that off 1-1. So, a lot of people will be, I guess, outraged. Oh, if you're not outraged about this, but that. What's going to outrage you today? So they're all fighting for that. So when the goal of these companies, the news aggregators, is simply to get your attention, it's not about informing you or getting important information out as Freddie swings there 1 and 2. It's about getting your time. And when I hear people complain, complain about the media is the problem. It's just, so this guy was complaining about BBC, and he posts something, and there's a strike. Down goes Freeman from a news source called Just the News. Describes himself. And A-Bomb says, I hate people on social media who talk about the narrative. Yeah, the narrative. That's a good one. That's a new buzz one. Directing the narrative. He's posting these aggregate stories. When it's called an aggregate story, it's not an article. It's not like someone sat down and wrote an article. It's just like 6-7 stories that have been aggregated or copied and pasted in there, and they're just about random voter fraud. Only a couple of them were about mail-in voter fraud. I was like, dude, this has nothing to do with the subject. This is not a convincing article to say that mail-in fraud, voter fraud, is a big issue, like he was trying to say, and fucking slamming the BBC. And so I looked up this company, Just the News. 1-0 pitch, the Zuna. There's a strike, 1-1, and it was founded by this guy named John Solomon, and John Solomon is one of the voices inside Trump's head. This is the guy where he got the conspiracy theory, the Hunter Biden, the Ukrainian stuff, the conspiracy theory that led his own Trump's own impeachment. This is the guy. This is the voices in Trump's head. And this is the shit this guy is posting and at the same time slamming the BBC. It's like, you dumb motherfucker. You lack any critical thinking whatsoever. The end. 1-2 pitch to Ozuna. He hits it hard, but right at the third baseman, and that's going to end the inning. It was a rocket. We get one back. 4-run game after 6. The narrative. So obviously, mail-in voter fraud isn't really an issue. It's just Trump trying to cover his ass. I did check on Kanye West. I don't think we're going to be seeing a whole lot more of him as far as the election goes. That's sort of faded out. He is Apparently he's having some serious mental issues right now. Kim Kardashian is close to divorcing him. I never thought you'd hear me talk about the Kardashians on this show. He is bipolar. And and a Republican out of New Jersey is contesting his signatures. As it looks like apparently somebody was just somebody with the same handwriting for each signature for a lot of it. So, in one of the states I think he's getting on the ballot for, maybe it was Oklahoma, that their only requirement, according to the article I read, was like a $35,000 fee. And I'm thinking there's got to be more to it than that. Now, most states require signatures, but maybe it's Oklahoma that didn't require the signatures. You have to come up with the cash. I mean, if that was the case, wouldn't we see a lot of rich people get their name on the ballot? Ding! We've got a ding. Ebby Snell sent me a friend request. I don't know who the fuck Ebby Snell is, so I'm probably not going to accept that friend request. You know, there isn't. I don't have any. We don't have any mutual friends. I don't know who you are. Most of my friend requests are people from like Malaysia. A picture of them with like 20 kilos of kratom. You know, I guess they work on it. They own a kratom farm, and I guess somewhere along the way, my pro kratom, conversations. Somehow I got on some mailing list for people in Malaysia. But, maybe one day I'm going to ask one of these guys, get some right from the farm. Their prices are extremely competitive. That reminds me, it's about time to do a little dirt tonight. Let's see, we got 20 till 9 Central Time. So I'm probably going to have to go here in a couple minutes, go pick up that steak fajita for one. But I do appreciate A-Bomb joining us on the show tonight. I see my next door neighbor is moving. Josh and Derek are leaving. They were good neighbors to have. I've been getting... Well, we'll talk about that later. Getting my neighbors dope. All right, the Mets are up 10-6 here on the top of the 7th. Live from Atlanta. Cardboard fans. And Robinson Cano 3 for 3 on the night at bat. Got 3 in the house. Yeah, 3 watching according to A-Bomb. And I apologize, but I'm going to have to turn this over to Tom and Chip down at the ballpark for probably 20 minutes or so while I go get some Guadalajara. But before I do that, I think I'm going to do a bad hit, get my shoes on. But we will leave this broadcast going. If you need the play-by-play, we're going to put the network on for you. New alternator on the van's doing good. Anybody knows someone living on a farm? Somebody with a barn? Somebody that needs a working cat? I want to get Jenny and Jasmine. They're still a bit feral, so I want to get them. They're living in my driveway. Anybody in the southeast, 100 miles or so of Panama City, has a farm or a barn or a shady oasis in the country, I got a couple of working cats for you. 1 and 2 count now to Robinson Cano. That just got the plate, 96 miles an hour for the strikeout. Matzek. Good location there. Well, the neighbor was getting him his dope, but he goes through it so fast. Wilson Ramos. Our pitcher, Matzek, he looks pretty good. He throws some fastballs. He's got good control. At least what we've seen here in the 7th. Swing and a miss at the high heat. I even tried emailing that guy in Taiwan. I go, hey, if you want to take down that copyright strike, that'd be great, I thought, I made up some excuse, but I thought about it was copyright monetized, And there's a K to end the top of the 7th. Adams, Darno, and Riley batting up next, and I'm going to the Mexican restaurant. So there is silence in the break from MLB.TV. But as soon as they come back, the audio will come up. Always nice to have Chip Carey and Tom Glavine backing you up.
Kind of a rose-colored window pane looking suit.
I think they're taking their cue from us, really.
Well, from one of us. maybe the better way to put that. The guys are looking sharp, sounding great in the studio. Appreciate their excellent work on Braves Live and during the stretch. And Johan Camargo is going to get the call for the Braves here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Camargo, switch hitter, will take the place of Matt Adams, who bats straight lefty, with Shreve still pitching for New York. Matt Adams had a good night tonight. 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. Now Camargo will get a chance to swing the bat in a time or 2, we hope. And the first one is off the plate. Grant Dayton is getting ready in the Atlanta bullpen. Might see him in the 8th inning. Well, Matzek was impressive too. Obviously, you'd love to take the lead. If you can't do that, you'd love to force Rojas to make some tough decisions in a 1 or a 2-run game late.
Yeah, I mean, I think ideally, yeah, you'd love to tie the game up here sooner than later. If not, at least put yourself in a position where, you know, a bloop and a blast or a solo shot in the 8th or 9th inning can tie it and put even more pressure on the back end of that bullpen.
Which has had its share of problems, no doubt about that. Matzik restored some order in the top of the 7th. Braves go to work with Camargo, d'Arnaud, and Riley. And now 2-2. Shreve ready. And Camargo swung at a ball in the dirt after getting ahead 2-0 in the count. Johan strikes out. So that's how the home 7th starts. Download the MLB app to get in-game video highlights, live pitch by pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and much more. MLB, the #1 app for live baseball. Three strikeouts for Shreve. d'Arnaud's up there. He's had a perfect night. 2 RBI singles, a walk, and his 2nd career stolen base. His 1st since 2014.
That's what's so good about this time of year for the hitters. He's raised his average almost 300 points tonight.
You Silver Sluggers remember stuff like that, don't you? 1-0 count. So far, they have not been able to adjust to what Shreve is throwing up there, whether it's a Tug McGraw screwball or a changeup, whatever it is.
Yeah, it says it's a straight change with some sink, and it certainly has some sink on it.
10-6, Mets have the lead. A big 6-run 5th inning. There it is again. Why change if they can't hit it? 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, sometimes you convince yourself I can't possibly throw that pitch again, but like you say, the way they're swinging at it, why not?
And there it is. Struck him out with the same pitch. Back-to-back strikeouts. That's 4 for Chasen Shreve, the former Braves farmhand. 2 away.
Yep. Starts in the zone. Yeah, it looks like it is a little bit of a splitter. Starts in the zone and then sinks out of the zone, and good arm speed, which is the key to selling that pitch.
9 more strikeouts for the Braves offense tonight. As Austin Riley cranks 1 foul and out of play, strike 1. The reason we keep talking about the strikeouts is, look, it's self-evident. If you strike out 9-10 times in a game, that's 3 innings with no contact. That's a tough way to win.
Yeah.
And the other night in Tampa Bay, the Braves struck out 19 times against the Rays.
No, and especially for a team whose track record is they don't strike out a lot.
Which makes you wonder, are the pitchers that far ahead of the hitters at this point still? Or is this still residual rust from a 4-month layoff with a short summer camp?
Yes.
Right. So in many ways, it has been at times a 3-outcome game, not just for the Braves, but for other big league clubs. Walk, homer, strikeout. And Riley's in the hole 1-2. And he just struck out the side with the same pitch. Wow. 10 strikeouts for the Braves tonight. 5 by Porcello, 5 by Shreve.
Baseball is brought to you by Truist. BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist, your local Toyota dealer. And by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day.
Well, we're hoping today could be the day for the Braves to complete a comeback win against the Mets. They're down 4 runs. Grant Dayton will be the next to try to hold them at bay. Can't do any better than Tyler Matzik did, an inning and a third of scoreless relief work with 2 strikeouts. And Grant Dayton, Tom, in for his 3rd game.
No record, 3.86 ERA, 203rd innings pitched, and you love that last line. No walks, 4 strikeouts. But the Braves relievers this year have not walked guys. They've been fantastic in that department.
So hope that continues with Grant Dayton versus Andres Jimenez. He's had himself a good game. A great leaping grab on an Ozuna line drive at third to save a run. He's bunted for a single, and he's scored in one of his 3 trips. Just a 21-year-old kid the Mets are awfully high on. That's on the ground, a base hit for Jimenez. He's going to take the turnaround first. Keep an eye on him. He's ready to run. Acuna was ready to try to throw him out. They're laughing about that. Leadoff single in the 8th inning. Time for our StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. 6th inning.
Oh, something off speed, I think. Rosario kept the hands in, kept it fair. 90 on the exit velocity. Just far enough to get in the bullpen.
So Rosario's first homer of the year. Snapped an 0 for 11. And Dayton misfires high. 1 ball, no strikes. One ball, no strikes. Right on by. Good pitch from Grant. Evens up the count. Tigers won tonight. They beat the Reds. Detroit 5-3 in their first 8 games.
That's a little bit of a surprise.
The Reds, a sexy pick to win the Central. 2-5. This year. Many had predicted the Reds to win that division, still might, but the Reds off to a slow start. Again to first. Yankees are leading the Red Sox. That one's 3-1 in the 8th inning. Got to keep an eye on the American League East teams. The Braves will be playing them, as you know. And the Rays enjoy a 2-0 lead over Baltimore to this point. 2-1 pitch is rifled out of play, foul, even count.
Well, that Yankee Red Sox rivalry's got to have a different feel with no fans in the stands.
Oh, man. Cool treat tonight before the game in New York. Susan Waldman, the longtime radio broadcaster with former Braves announcer John Sterling. Susan got to sing the national anthem tonight. Before things got started, the pitch.
Hey, you told me she was, what, Broadway?
Broadway, yes.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Really talented lady. Gardner, Urshela, and Judge have homered for the Yankees tonight. Which shouldn't surprise you.
Nope.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch again. Rosario waved at that, didn't get it, and is retired. Last 3 outs for the Mets have come via strikeout. 2 by Matzik, One here by Dayton, and that's how the 8th inning starts. Fans, the Delta Club is a premium, all-inclusive, and climate-controlled space so close to the action on the field, you can actually hear the umpires talking to the catchers. It includes 2021 All-Star Game access. There are limited memberships available. Go to braves.com/premium. Here's Nimmo. 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. The second of his 2 strikeouts, in my humble opinion, changed the tone of the night for Sean Newcomb.
Yeah, I agree.
Sean was breezing through 3 innings, then faced Nimmo starting the 4th, a 10-pitch at bat. Walk and a 2-run homer followed. And then Sean had some more trouble in the 5th, and his night was ended. 1 ball, no strikes. Dayton's got a good arm. He too, another man that's come back from some injury-plagued time in the majors. That's up and away. Missed all of 2018 with Tommy John surgery. 36 games at AAA Gwinnett and Atlanta combined. Pitched 14 times here with the Braves, 14 strikeouts, 12 innings. That's upstairs. Ball 3. Birdie, what's up?
I got a question for Glav. You listening?
I'm always listening, Birdie.
That's what I love to hear. Sean Newcomb, also a lefty. Good year last year out of the pen. Starting again this year. If you were able to sit down with him one-on-one, what would you tell him?
You know, I think for me, watching from a distance.
In the air to center. Ender's going to track that down, Tommy, for the second out.
You know, I just feel like when he came out of the bullpen, there was just a different kind of aggressiveness there. Like he knew, all right, I'm out here for an inning or maybe 2, and I'm just going to get after it, and really didn't really think much beyond what was in front of him. And to Snit's point that he said with Sean tonight, look, just go out there and win the inning. And I think that's kind of what he has to do, because I think at times when he's starting, it almost looks like he's so intent on what the game plan is and trying to get into the 5th or 6th inning that it's like he's got his eye on the big picture, not so much the picture that's right in front of him at the time, like he did coming out of the bullpen, if that makes sense. I just see a different aggressiveness when he was in the bullpen than I see as a starter.
Well, that was what Snit said before the game, Tommy and Birdie. He said, look, for Sean, the key, win the inning. Just worry about that inning. Win that one and then go to the next one.
And listen, that's what you have to do. I mean, look, I was guilty of it at times where things aren't going well and you start, getting ahead of yourself in a game and you forget about the inning you're in. It's real easy sometimes to go out there when you're struggling. And, you go out and have 3 good innings, and then you're sitting there and you're going, okay, well, I got the bottom of the order coming up, next inning up. I can get through that. Then I get through the top of the order, and then all right, next thing I know, I'm in the 6th inning. And then you don't go out and take care of business with the bottom of the order. And you can't think that way.
Swing and a miss. Dayton and Matzik were terrific in their 2 1/3 innings. Thank you very much, Jerome. Here it's 10-6 New York as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Our leadoff feature presented by Truist. As you know, the Never Quit with Snit Braves were excellent in late inning play.
Yeah, we talked about it. We saw it, and there are the numbers to back it up. 8th inning or later, 197 runs, second most in the NL, and 63 homers was the most in the NL.
So Ryan Cordell takes over in center. Nimmo's to left, and here's Dylan Betances, the former Yankee. We saw Betances against the Braves up in New York. Stuff looked pretty good, not as crisp as it was with the Yankees, but they're taking a flyer on Betances to see if he can regain his superhuman strength in relief. And Echeverria, the first man up for Atlanta, fouls that away. It's an even count. Matzik and Dayton restored some order for the Braves relief corps. Now Atlanta with 6 outs left needs 4 to tie and 5 to take the lead. And this is where it's been shaky for the Mets all year long. A .590 ERA. They've allowed 7 homers in the first 7 games as a relief group.
Well, as hard as this guy throws, I think the Braves might be happy to see Shreve out of the game. As good as he was. Through 34 pitches. 14 swings and misses. Compared to 6 swings and misses on the first 95 pitches of the game.
And 5 strikeouts for Shreve. And
so he had the Invista changeup over.
Exactly right. 3 balls and a strike. Braves need base runners. Top of the order lurking, and they're going to have one with a base hit to left. So Echeverria turns around a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. That's his first knock. And Ender Inciarte is coming up.
Fastball up, middle, and Echeverria says thank you very much.
Ender's reached twice, scored once.
Peeking over there at third base.
For the Braves center fielder, top of the order lurking, Acuna, Swanson, and Freeman. The Braves also have Ozzie Albies in reserve if needed. Got the night off, but Brian Snitker said he is good to go if needed late. He and others are needed. Down 4 runs, 10-6 score. Betances hasn't been close to Ender. 3 balls, no strikes. All help appreciated late. Taking all the way, down 4 runs, 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he does it again.
Echeverria leads. The pitch. Might have swung at ball 4 there. Full count. Acuna's on deck. Swanson to follow. Hopefully Freddie Freeman too. Runner goes, and ball 4. A hit and a walk sets it up for the top of the order. Good at bat for Ender. And all of a sudden, you know what the Mets fans are saying? Here we go again. And if ever there was a time for Acuna to find a gap, this was it.
Yeah, this would be a good time to get things going a little bit.
Here we are in the 8th game of the year. No RBIs.
Yeah, I would not have bet on that.
off the plate. Mets bullpen starts to work and work in a hurry. Luis Rojas knows who's in the box and knows who's coming up. And Matanzas having trouble throwing strikes. 12 pitches, only 4 have found the zone. And it's Seth Lugo getting ready. You might see Lugo try to finish the game off.
All right, all right. Back in the house.
1 ball, 1 strike.
I come back to find the Braves knocking on the door.
1-2.
Down by 4 though. Bottom of the 8th. 2-on. Acuna batting. Shout out to K Mayer in the house. Couldn't find the game on ESPN Plus. Blacked out on MLB TV. And Acuna strikes out. Well, welcome aboard, K Mayer. I am the Bone Crusher. Your moderator tonight is A-Bomb, and normally we don't use this channel. Usually I use the Bone Crusher channel, but I am in YouTube jail for airing some Taiwanese baseball. So, but do subscribe to A-Bomb's channel, our moderator. He does some games as well. Great source for Braves play-by-play and reaction. As my cat has shown up. Probably smells the food I just got from El Guadalajara. This is Claw. This is a tuxedo, American short hair. And when I moved in this place, he was already here. All right, the pitch 1-0 is, that looks like a strike. Change up there, 1-1 to Dansby Swanson.
Signed him on Christmas Eve.
1 out, bottom of the 8th. Just got back from El Guadalajara. Got the fajitas here.
1-1 pitch. Line drive right field.
Dansby, yeah, Swanson goes the other way to right field for a single, and a run's going to score. Echeverria crosses home, so it's a 3-run game. Oh, what is it, buddy? No, the sewage was not, odor was not a problem tonight, A-Bomb. Thank goodness. What's up, buddy? What is up? What's this guy doing? What are you doing, Claw?
A 2 RBI night for Swanson, who now has 11 runs batted in. And the Mets have to face Freeman, who could tie
Freddie
the game
Freeman
with 1
steps
swing.
into the box.
Freddie scored twice.
Downstairs, and he checks his swing 1-0.
Wow, ball 1.
94 on the gun. Batting 259. Hugh McClaw must want some treats or some food or something. What is it, brah? Want some eats? Steal attempt. He's safe.
Double steal. Love it.
A delayed double steal. Runners advance.
The Braves have done it a couple of times tonight.
Yeah, you can't.
So Swanson at second now. And I guess, is that NCRT at third?
And the importance of that play obviously is, as the Mets think about a review of the play at second.
The throw from the catcher was offline a little bit, otherwise they might have had him at second.
And are the Mets going to take a look? They are.
But
New York thinks they may have tagged out Dansby Swanson on that play at second base.
I thought he missed the tag, but they're going to review it.
Like this, with so much on the line for New York, you might as well use your challenge. There's nothing lost if you lose.
Yeah, buddy.
But you might get a break, and Dansby would be the second out. Did he get in?
Safe. Not even close. Why are they wasting our time with that?
Nothing there that would overturn it.
And what would sell it for me is the umpire. Oh, on the calf, they tagged him. But when Cano went back, usually that's a sign that he missed the man. So the question is, was that tag on the calf before Dansby got his hand in the bag?
Yeah, even if they did make contact, it was late.
Remember, the call on the field was safe. There has to be clear and convincing evidence.
Well, while they're reviewing
that
that,
shows otherwise for the call to be overturned. This might be our best look.
safe.
Yeah, it's just hard to tell whether or not he tagged him. I mean, again, given the
Tag or
call,
no tag, it was
don't
late.
see
He's
enough to
safe.
overturn
They're
it.
wasting our time.
And he is safe.
Yeah.
So the Mets
Challenge
and
denied.
lose the
I gotta plate
ball
some
stands.
fajitas here.
And the Braves have second and third with one out for Freddie Freeman, who's ahead in the count. So a hit gets you one for sure, maybe
Try
two.
to finish up this
Man
bottom of
that
the
has
eighth, and we'll turn it
clobbered
back
the
over
Mets
to
in his
Chip
career.
and Tom.
And now 3-0. If Freddie coaxes a walk, then you've got Ozuna waiting with a chance to put you in front.
Freddie Freeman
That in mind,
has worked the
Braves
count
offense
3-0.
Lefty and a righty working.
Sure, Zuna is on deck.
Braves waiting for Ender to tie his shoe.
It is NCRT at third.
Freddie sometimes ambushes.
Swanson at
3-0.
second.
Be careful here if you're the Mets.
I give him the green
I
light.
don't think they're going to try to throw a strike here.
No
Oh, that gets
here.
by him.
Wild pitch. Ender's coming home. Throw to
Runner
the plate.
scores.
It's gonna be-
Safe. Yes.
Inciarte scores.
NCRT
Big collision at the plate.
comes
Ender
home.
no worse for wear.
And some Corona contact at the
Third, 2-1
plate.
game.
That's how you get the coronavirus. It is a 2-run game. That pitch, a 3-0 pitch. Come on, just go ahead and walk him.
Betances looking like he wants no part of this game. Will he stay in?
Yeah, a bit of a collision there with Inciarte and the pitcher at home.
He might have been out. I don't know if that leg ever got to the plate, but can't challenge.
Well, they can challenge run scoring plays, so that's what they're asking the umpires to do, an umpire review.
Oh, yeah, he's safe, boy.
Toe touched the bag indeed. So it's unraveled again for
Yeah,
Betances.
safe again.
2 walks, a hit, a wild pitch.
Well, I was having fajitas. That's a lucky cat.
Cross.
And another challenge. All right, well,
So Major League Baseball
I think we lost
allows
K. Mayer.
managers to ask for a crew review on scoring plays. And it looks like Ender's toe got in before the tag. Right
Yeah, right there.
there. That one's pretty clear. So again, the call on the field was safe. Has to be enough evidence to overturn the call. Looked like the tip of Ender's cleat touched the dish before Betances pile drived him off the dish. Now, sometimes when we have lengthy delays like this, it's not because there are several angles they're trying to peruse. Sometimes replay gets backed up. They have other reviews that are in progress. But it looks like the verdict is in on this one, and he is safe. So the wild pitch brings home a second run. And here is Ozuna. The Braves are doing exactly what they wanted to do, making it tight in the 9th inning and the 8th inning for that matter. In what's now a crazy, wild 10-8 game. And here's Ozuna. But first, here's Rojas. He's going to go get Seth Lugo with that big curveball. Betances continues to have some issues, as does the Mets bullpen. The Braves are very much alive at home. down 2, 2 on, 1 out in a wacky 8th inning.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Bojangles. It's Bow Time. Delta Airlines. And by your local Ford dealer.
What a wild ball game. Man, oh man. Big innings, crazy pitching lines, lots of strikeouts, a couple of challenges, stolen bases, but here the Braves are down 10-8, first and third. And Seth Lugo, one of the best relievers the Mets have, coming on to try to save the day for him.
3 games this season, 1-0 record, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Had a blown save in the Boston series.
Well, Ozuna deserves a little better fate. Lined out last time, it cost him a run. How big is that play looking for the Mets right now? Ahead by 2. Ozuna, though, 1 hit, 1 run. And Lugo gets ahead with the first pitch. Not with the second, however. Lugo, big spinning curveball. And a real weapon for New York. Ozuna 1 for 7 against him lifetime with a couple of walks. Downstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Rojas tried to get Betances through a clean inning with a 4-run lead. Didn't work out. Now he's got to use Lugo. And may have to use him for the 9th inning too. Braves could make it academic with a home run from Ozuna. 2 balls and a strike. Didn't get it. There's that breaking ball. And it's a hard curveball.
Yeah, that's a good pitch there. Tough one to lay off.
So 2-2. Camargo on deck. Did he go? He did not. So a full count. Braves trying to complete an unbelievable comeback tonight. The 3-2 pitch instead to first. As we said a couple of innings ago, the Braves hit last.
Yes, thankfully.
Remember, Ozuna hit a game-tying homer on a pitch away from him in New York. Let's see what they do here. Freeman's running, and the pitch is poked foul. Now was against Edwin Diaz. The Braves were down to their last strike, last out in the 9th inning. Ozuna tied it. Braves eventually won that game. So what's Mr. Lugo throwing here? 3-2.
Gets a slider.
Marcel has a big hole that way with Alonso holding Freeman. The 3-2 pitch. It's ball 4. The bases are loaded. Lugo lost him. Man, oh man, you talk about giving managers ulcers. Relief pitchers coming in and allowing that first base runner to reach. That has been an epidemic tonight. And now Johan Camargo, the stage is yours. The bases are loaded with 1 out in the 8th inning. And Camargo can hit left-handed here. You figure that could take away that big slider from Seth Lugo. We'll see. Swanson, Freeman, and Ozuna, the base runners. That one got away from Ramos. Can't find it, but not far enough for the runners to advance. Ball 1. Camargo, in limited duty last year, was a clutch hitter. 17 hits with runners in scoring position. 23 RBIs. And he has hit homers right over that brick wall against the Mets in this ballpark before. Another here would be just what the doctor ordered. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, got to try and make Lugo elevate something, even at a minimum. Get that ball to the outfield and at least get 1 run in here.
Fly ball softly hit to right. Conforto comes in. Don't think that's going to be deep enough. It's not. Alonso cuts it off, and that's the 2nd out. So that'll take a 2-out hit from Travis d'Arnaud, the former Met. He's had a good night. 2 RBI singles. And you think Travis would know Lugo very well. After all, he caught him. Braves need 1 more hit to get this thing tied, perhaps. But it'll take a 2-out hit from the Atlanta catcher. And Ozzie Albies, as we told you, available to pinch hit, would bat for Austin Riley if d'Arnaud can keep the inning alive. 1 ball, no strikes. Ooh, thank you very much. Lugo wants to know what was wrong with that.
He's not the only one that's been asking about down there all night.
Rojas wants to know where it was.
He hasn't called anything down there all night. That's a strike. He hadn't called it.
I'm guessing the reach of Ramos is what sold the pitch for the hitter. 2-0. That changes the at-bat pitch. Line drive into right center field, base hit. 1 run scores. 2 runs score. Ozuna to 3rd. d'Arnaud to 2nd. He's coming right out now. The throw. Great. He came around and scored. d'Arnaud clears him with a double to the right center field gap. Unbelievable. Woo. Night, and it just got better. Slider, just a great piece of hitting. Stay back, drive it to the opposite field, clears the bases, and the Braves have done what we've seen them do so many times last year. Just keep fighting and come back and take the lead. What did we say earlier in the game? get it close and see if the Mets bullpen can hold the lead. They couldn't. 5 in the 8th for Atlanta, 11-10. And now Ozzie Albies will come on and pinch hit. A huge 2-out bases clearing double for d'Arnaud, and the Braves have taken the lead. One ball, no strikes. And that caught the inside corner. It's an even count. Walks in late innings are deadly, and the Braves have cashed in 3 of them from the Mets staff to score 5 runs tonight. This one popped up, shallow center. Cordell is there, and that will retire to the side. The Mets bullpen implodes again, and the Braves take advantage. 11-10 with 3 outs to get. Wow.
Wow. Wow is right. How about that? The Braves taking the lead there. What an inning. Welcome aboard, Games and More, and everyone here catching out the play-by-play show. Your moderator tonight is A-Bomb. Make sure you subscribe to his channel for more play-by-play. I guess there were some Mets fans in here because they made a quick exit after the Braves go up after that play. Bases clearing. 3 RBI double to take the lead. And I was just crushing a delicious fajita topped with, it was steak, onions, peppers, of course, salsa, cilantro, guacamole on that thing, sour cream. I think I'm going to have a little bit more, but I just wanted to come in because I saw that amazing come from behind stick-to-itiveness of the Atlanta Braves. It seems like we kept coming back all night long, and the Mets would simply just hit some more homers. So we did it again. Now can we keep the Mets at bay? And we certainly will not be seeing a pitcher hitting for the Mets, as the stupid DH rule is in effect. I am the Bone Crusher, and this is my side channel.
Baseball seasons 11-10 Atlanta.
So you can subscribe to this channel, but come August 22nd, we're switching back to the Bone Crusher channel. That's where my 412 subscribers reside. All right, back to Atlanta.
The man trying to close it out is king-sized right-hander Chris Martin.
Chris Martin is going to be your closer tonight.
On for the 3rd time. 0-1 record.
Chris Martin, 0-1 record, 4.5 ERA.
Strike to all of them, so they'll be hopefully coming.
Where's everybody at tonight? I am rocking at you from the panhandle of Florida, the meth capital of the world.
Adam Duvall checks into play left field. Ozzie Albies in at second. That moves Denny Echeverria to third.
Home of Tyndall Air Force Base.
Are now out of the game. What a night for Travis d'Arnaud, the former Met.
d'Arnaud is a former Met. I did not know that. Yeah, d'Arnaud is the one Braves player wearing a mask during the game.
And excellent work behind the plate as well. So Jeff McNeil is going to
You know, having a player like Freddie Freeman who has already gone through the COVID, he got very sick. It's like, you know, it's like leprosy or AIDS or something. You know, you don't want to touch the guy. You know, it's like, man, I don't want to hang out. You know, a couple of my neighbors got COVID, and it's been.
7 for his last 16 with 4 RBIs.
Yeah, give plasma. Yeah, let's get some of
Like the Braves did with Ozzie Albies.
plasma from Freddie Freeman. And maybe he's sharing his plasma with the other players. That'd be pretty nice of him. Hey, you know, here's some antibodies. Or...
Perfect opportunity. Come in, throw strikes. Got a tough inning. 4, 5, and 6 on the lineup card for New York is due.
1-0 pitch. Old foul.
Right there, McNeil swung a ball too, even count. Told the story when we were in New York about Jeff McNeil and the job he does against Atlanta. He just wears out Braves pitching.
Could be watching this on the Entertainers channel if you're a Mets fan, but you're here and we appreciate you.
By the uniform shirt and said, "Who the heck are you? Because we can't get you out."
Well, nothing's changed.
Man, good fajita though. They get a 4.4 out of 5 on Google reviews over at El Guadalajara. The pitch, the 1-1 is pulled foul.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Sure you subscribe to A-Bomb's channel, your moderator tonight. Also brings you some live play-by-play reaction. The Atlanta Braves and the Falcons. Maybe some Hawks this year.
In the top of the 9th, an 11-10 slugfest. Right back to the mound, and Martin's going to.
All right, Martin fields that easily. That's hit right back to the pitcher. Out number 1.
Here's Conforto. Adam Duvall, get ready. He's flied to left 3 times. Well, what a catch Duvall made last night in a 1-run game.
Yeah, that was a great play.
He preserved or helped preserve a 2-1 Atlanta win. It's 11-10 Braves. We told you if this turns into a battle of the bullpens, you like the Braves' chances. Mets Penn's given up 7 runs tonight.
Shows bunt. Pulls back, takes a 94-mile-an-hour strike.
Counting the first 3 games in New York, the New York bullpen has allowed 17 runs. 17 in 4 games.
Now it's going to give you early ulcers.
Welcome aboard, Dogs Fan 2.0 in the house. Go Braves indeed.
No balls and a strike.
Martin kicks and fires. That's in the dirt. Gets past the catcher, but no one's on base, so no harm, no foul, no error.
Winning run to 3 consecutive games. Braves trying to get to 5 and 3.
I should have a little card on the screen you could click on to get you over to the Bone Crusher channel I normally broadcast from. Whatever, right? All right, Martin rocks and fires. That's downstairs. Change up low, 2-1. The Conforto. Conforto.
Use Mark Melancon tonight. He's pitched the last 2 days. Figure Mark could be ready to go tomorrow. So Chris Martin gets the first chance to close, and that's what's so great about this Braves bullpen. A lot of closing experience among.
Martin takes the sign, comes set. The pitch.
That one is
And that gets just past Ozzy.
Albies, who went flying through
Shit.
the air and hit the ground awfully hard.
Yeah, I think that hurt a little bit.
Runner on first for the Mets.
Knocked out of him, but not his shoulder.
1 out in the 9th.
George Poulos, the Braves athletic trainer, will make his way out to second base. Remember, Ozzy was out with a wrist problem, but he's coming up all smiles. Yep, landed on his
I think he said he hurt himself falling on his gold chain. Ouch.
Toe got stuck after he
Looks like a little whiplash
tried to make the catch.
when Ozzy landed. He dived, he extended, he tried to bring that in.
hit hard. So here's the
Not a graceful landing.
game in New York. Cespedes versus Martin.
That's something you got to consider if you can wear a lot of jewelry out there. That I don't think that I don't think that hurt him, but I just made that up. But
Cespedes doesn't run all that well with the assorted leg problems we discussed.
Yoenis
Got a 2
Cespedes.
team in the 5th.
I don't know.
And Martin just missed low, 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, I'll say this. He's been consistent down there all night.
Yep.
Cespedes, I don't know. By the end of the season, I'll know everyone's name perfectly. Like I've forgotten
Popped up over the Braves dugout.
a lot of people from last year. All right, that's fouled back. 1-1 is the count. 1 out. Runner on first from the Mets. Down by 1. It's 11-10. Braves lead after we came back last inning. Finally got ahead of the Mets here. 2 outs away. Double play will end the game.
Conforto is short lead at first, and the 1-1 pitch
Conforto at first.
is
And that is going to be foul tip, perhaps. 1-2 is the count.
You can't help but remember those head-to-head matchups. I'm sure there's a little extra adrenaline flowing for Martin here. He'd like to even the score with Cespedes.
Cespedes.
Closer to
See, I think I got it now. Is that like an infection you get in your leg? Sepsis, or what is that called? Producer Beth?
and the 1-2 pitch. Here comes
Sepsis. You get that in your leg, you know, you don't want to, you know, that's almost as bad as gangrene or something.
Pitch there, took a shot at a fastball up. It's been pretty liberally called up there. Took a shot at it, didn't get it. Guessing they're going to go back to the slider here.
6 in the house. Welcome aboard, everybody, to the
balls, 2 strikes.
exciting conclusion of Mets and Braves. Runner on first. The pitch. Swing and a miss. That's a strikeout. Sit down. Martin gets the K. 1 out away from the win.
Come back with the slider.
That was a nasty pitch.
Wanted to throw it down and away, but threw it front door instead and got the swing and a miss.
Jesus Christ himself would not have been able to hit that slider.
So one more man.
You saying God can't hit a curveball?
Night. Robinson Cano has gone 3 for 4 with a home run.
That reminds me, an American citizen was shot and killed in Pakistan outside a court for blasphemy. He was arrested for blasphemy. The pitch is outside, 1-0.
No strikes for Robinson Cano.
We got Robinson Cano at bat with the game on the line. Yeah, in some countries, blasphemy is punishable by death.
For 2 against Martin. So far, no
1-0 pitch.
Conforto.
Outside by a whisker.
2-0 the count.
Fastball just missed. 2-0 is the count
Deck.
to Cano.
Let's face him tomorrow.
And, you know, the neighbors can just claim that you were saying something, you know, just a little bit of they could, you know, there have to be evidence that there's blasphemy. And they get and they get so worked up about it. The Muslims get so, how dare you? That's downstairs, 3-0.
Put the tying run in scoring position.
And we were just watching some history on the Philippines, and you know what you think about Spain conquering the Philippines in a negative way, but if they had not have, it would be a Muslim country most likely.
In a third.
The Spaniards basically kept the Muslims out of the Philippines for 300 years, except for the southern part.
And a strike. All bets
That just caught the strike zone, 3-1
guy a cookie.
to Cano. And I don't want to say there's anything wrong with Muslims. I mean, but when you think of blasphemy, you know, death for blasphemy, you know, that's just extreme. That's, you know, religion aside, that's insane.
Martin ready. Here's the 3-1 pitch.
3-1,
Ball.
just miss, and
2 on, 2 out. The drop.
that's a walk from Martin. 2 on. I think I'm gonna bring my rest of my fajita over here, and I hope we don't have extra innings because I don't want to see the ghost runner.
Nothing's been easy. No.
They could just put like a hologram on second, to start the 10th inning. In case you don't know, the new rule is there's extra innings. Each team gets to start the inning with a runner on second. Like a ghost runner, but there's actually someone standing there, but swing and a miss. 0-1 to Ramos. So why not have a hologram start off the 10th inning on second base, if it comes to that? Celebrity holograms. You could have Jackie Robinson night. Dale Murphy night. Claudell Washington night. 0-1 pitch, fouled back. 0-2. So 1 strike away. But the Mets are also a hit away from tying this up. It is not a done deal. I'm expecting a fastball from Martin. Let's say 95-mile-an-hour heater upstairs. Let's see.
Whole host of choices for Chris Martin in this spot, with Wilson Ramos standing in the way of a huge comeback win for the Braves.
Everyone taking their time here. Taking more time. Steps off the mound. Sorry for eating on the show here.
No balls, 2 strikes.
All right, here we go. The 0-2 pitch.
Here it is.
In the dirt. 1-2.
Yep, good try. Good 2
And that was a changeup. Yeah, when you're throwing a 0-2 changeup in a situation like that, you might as well be in the dirt, because you do not want that thing anywhere near the strike zone. You don't want to make a mistake on a changeup on an 0-2 pitch and get rocked. That is a throwaway pitch, and unless you're Greg Maddux. All right, 1-2 from Martin. Ramos stands inside. Another off-speed pitch. 2-2. Where's the fastball? Don't see now. Now, Maddux would never throw 2 balls like that. Throw 2 throwaway pitches. You cannot. You got it. Now you have to throw a fastball right here. It's got to be over the plate. And it's a slider over the plate. He gets a piece of it, though. Still 2-2. That's a great pitch. It's over the strike zone. It's a strike. It's nasty slider. And I'll be honest, I forget what's in Martin's repertoire. Obviously a nice slider, solid fastball, a clumsy changeup. There's a fastball upstairs. That's hit high. That's hit deep to the track. And we got it! The win, the comeback. It's over. Braves win. Cano goes deep, gives it a ride, but comes up short. And the Braves have come from behind to crush the Mets' spirits, break their dreams. The Mets are crying in the field, producer Beth. Go Braves. Go Braves.
Like you said, it was that kind of game that last man standing was going to win it. Braves bullpen back end did a great job again tonight. Mets back end struggled.
That was a fun game, especially since we won. Whew. What a finish. Thank you, A-Bomb.
And plenty to get excited about for tomorrow night. It's Touki Toussaint time. Braves live at 6:30, then first pitch at 7:10. What a night in Atlanta.
Oh, why don't we make the player of the game, A-Bomb? I don't know. I'll say Martin. I'm gonna give him. You know, he got the save. We're gonna give it to him. That's an easy call. Right, people coming in to congratulate the Braves. Go Braves! Nice win. If you're just joining us, the Braves came from behind tonight to win 11-10 at home against the Mets. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Tonight's broadcast has been sponsored by TreasureHunt.ga. You can see their URL there in the corner of your screen. You can go there and click on Sports Fans to get exclusive sports swag, but you also get a lot of gifts, original paintings. There's a whole lot of stuff there you can get for yourself or your lady friend. TreasureHunt.ga. All right, this is the Bone Crusher checking out. I want to thank our moderator, A-Bomb, for hanging out tonight and taking care of things in the chat box. Make sure you subscribe to his channel on your way out. Well, Braves end on a high note, so let's all go get high. Dedicate this to guys that are always getting stoned on my other channel. I'm forgetting everyone's name from last season. Well, they're all a bunch of stoners. And a final shout out to Matt Rose, Dogfan 2.0, K Meyer. Thanks everyone for coming by. We'll see you out there somewhere on the ether, lingering on the stratosphere, on the fringe. Alan Handelman will be interviewing Grandpa Munster next on the Alan Handelman Show. Good night.